Okay, so get this. Imagine knowing how well an AI is going to do on something before it even starts. Like how accurate it'll be, how well it'll perform, that's what we're going to deep dive into today.
That is super interesting.
Right, we're looking at this research paper. It's called Likelihood as a Performance Gauge for Retrieval Augmented Generation.
Okay.
It just came out last week, actually. And it sounds kind of complicated, but basically we're going to unpack this kind of surprising link between how confident an AI is and how good it actually is at getting the right answer.
Yeah, it's funny because the idea itself is so intuitive. It really all boils down to how sure the AI is about its answers.
So, like, if an AI is convinced it's got the right answer,
Mm.
it's more likely to actually be right. That's kind of like us. When we're feeling confident about something, we're usually more likely to nail it, right?
Exactly. That's the basic gist. And the research goes deeper into how this confidence, or what they call likelihood, can actually predict how well it's going to do.
Okay, I'm definitely intrigued. But before we get too far into it, can we just quickly clarify what exactly is retrieval augmented generation? What is ARGI and why does it matter here?
Good question. So, retrieval augmented generation, or R, is a technique that essentially helps these large language models access and use more information.
Okay.
So, it's like giving the AI a whole toolbox of information before it has to answer a question.
So you're saying it's like giving the AI a whole library of resources before it takes a big exam or something.
Exactly. Argy pulls in information from external sources like big databases, even the internet, to give the AI more context. And this is especially important for question answering tasks, where the AI needs to go beyond what it initially learned.
Got it. So ARGI helps the AI be more accurate and knowledgeable,
Yeah.
basically. So where does this whole confidence thing fit in?
Okay, well, this is where things get really cool.
Yeah.
Past research actually found something called the lost in the middle effect. Essentially, AI is using a RAG. They do best when the crucial info is right at the beginning or the end of what they're reading, but they struggle when it's buried somewhere in the middle.
Huh. It's kind of like when I'm reading a really long article and the main point gets lost somewhere in all those middle paragraphs.
Right.
The beginning and the end are what stick with me.
That's a great analogy, and this new paper looks at why this happens and links it to the AI's confidence level. Like, imagine you're studying for a test. You're more likely to remember the things you feel good about, right? The thing you're confident about.
Oh yeah, absolutely. When you know you've got a concept down, it sticks.
Right.
Are you saying the AI is doing something similar?
Yeah. Researchers found that the AI's confidence, or how likely it thinks the answer is a strong predictor of how well it'll actually answer.
Wait, hold on. So the AI can basically tell us how well it's going to do on a question just by how confident it feels. That's wild. How did they test that?
Well, they use two different data sets that are made for question answering. One is NQ Open, which is focused on factual questions, and the other is ELI5, which is more for open-ended questions that need explanation.
So they covered a pretty good range of question types then.
Yeah.
And what they find, like, did the AI's confidence actually match up with its performance?
They found a really clear pattern across both of the data sets and different language models, even some cutting edge ones like Llama, Mistral, and MPT.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, across the board, these AIs were way better at answering questions when they assigned a higher likelihood to the question.
So it's like they were saying, like, I know this one, and then boom, they got it right.
Exactly.
That's pretty cool. It seems like a big step forward in actually understanding how AI works. But how do they prove this connection, like beyond just a general trend?
Well, they analyze the relationship on two levels. One is the corpus level, which is like the overall performance across the entire data set, and then the instance level, which looks at how the order of the info impacts the AI's confidence and accuracy, even for just a single question.
Okay, so let's break those down one by one.
Yeah.
First, the corpus level. How do they analyze that?
So at the corpus level, they grouped all the questions based on their likelihood score, so high, medium, and low, right?
Okay,
And then they compared how accurate each group was on average. And you know what?
right.
Across all the different language models and data set sizes, the AIs consistently did best on the questions they were most confident about.
That makes sense. If the AI is more confident, it's probably going to be more accurate. So
Yep.
at the corpus level, that connection between confidence and performance is pretty clear.
Right.
But what about that That instance level, what does that tell us?
Okay, so that's where we see how changing the order of the information can impact both the confidence and accuracy, even for one single question.
So you're saying even for just one question, shuffling around the info in the AI's, in its toolbox can change how well it does.
Exactly. And here's the crazy part. The AI's confidence and accuracy, they mirror each other.
Huh.
When one goes up, so does the other.
Oh, wow.
When one goes down, so does the other. It's kind of like watching two dancers that are perfectly in sync.
Wow.
Yeah.
I think I'm starting to see how this all connects. It's not just about the information itself, it's about how the AI understands it, how it processes it, and how confident it feels about it. Is there an example from the paper that kind of illustrates this point?
Yeah, they actually visualize this with a graph. It shows what happens when you change the position of what they call the gold document, the document that has the right answer within the set of documents the AI gets.
So it's like they're taking that toolbox we talked about
Yeah.
and they're moving the tools around inside. They're putting the most important tool in different places
Hmm.
and seeing how the AI reacts.
Exactly. And they found that as you move the that gold document further from the beginning or the end, the AI's likelihood score drops,
Uh-huh.
which means its confidence decreases and so does its accuracy. But when you put that key document back at the start or the end, both the confidence and the accuracy shoot back up.
So it sounds like the AI, just like us,
Hmm.
does best when the important stuff is front and center or saved for last.
Yes. It all goes back to that lost in the middle effect. The AI seems to be better at processing and remembering info when it's presented prominently, like if it had a highlighter,
Mm.
just like you might use when you're studying,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
it's highlighting those key pieces.
I think this is really starting to click for me now. But
Right.
the big question is, knowing all of this, can we actually use this understanding of the AI's confidence to make it smarter?
That's the $1 million question, and the answer is a resounding yes.
Wow.
The researchers found a way to improve the AI simply by understanding and using its confidence signals.
Wait, they can actually make the AI more accurate just by understanding its confidence levels. That's incredible. Like we're talking about potentially changing how AI learns and evolves here.
Mhm.
How do they pull that off?
So they came up with two main methods. The first one's pretty simple. They just shuffled the documents around randomly and picked the arrangement that gave the highest likelihood score for that question.
So it's like they're letting the AI organize its own notes before a test,
Yeah,
figuring out the best way to arrange the info?
exactly.
Okay. That's pretty clever.
Yeah.
And it actually worked.
It did. They saw a big improvement in accuracy, especially on that NQ Open dataset, the one with the factual questions.
That's impressive. So method 1, you let the AI organize its notes. What about method 2?
Method two is called gold document reordering, and it's about strategically positioning the document with the right answer, that gold document, to help the AI succeed.
So not just letting the AI organize its notes, but like
Yeah.
actually highlighting the key passages,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, you got it.
That's smart. Tell me more.
So they developed this technique called convex score
Okay.
to figure out which document is most relevant based on the AI's likelihood scores for each document when it's put in different spots. Then they just moved the most relevant document to the beginning.
So it's like putting a giant sticky note on the most important document that says read this first
Exactly.
to guide the AI to the right answer.
Yep.
And it worked.
It did. They tested it on both NQ Open, where there's only one relevant document, and ELI 5, which is it's trickier because it doesn't actually say which document is the gold one.
Wow. So even without a clear signal, they could still use the AI's confidence to steer it towards the better answers. It's really something.
And what's even more impressive is how efficient it is. To calculate these likelihood scores, they only needed to use the AI's encoding function.
Hold on, what's an encoding function?
It's essentially how the AI processes and understands the text. It's a step before it even tries to answer.
So it's like the AI is reading and understanding the material before trying to answer a question about.
Exactly.
Gotcha. So they're getting more accurate results without making the AI go through that whole process of generating a full answer, which would take way more, computing power.
You got it. They're basically making the process faster and more efficient. Both of these methods, they point to a really exciting new direction for AI development. By understanding and using an AI's confidence, we can make them more accurate, more efficient, and ultimately more trustworthy.
This has so many potential uses. I'm already thinking about how this could completely change search engines, making them even better at giving us the best results by understanding which info is most likely to be helpful.
The possibilities are endless, and that's what makes this research so groundbreaking. It's not just about understanding AI better, it's about using that understanding to create a future where AI is a really valuable tool for everyone.
This has definitely been an eye-opening deep dive so far. But before we wrap up, I have one last thought to throw out there. The paper focuses mostly on reorder and text, but what other ways could we use this confidence signal to make AI even smarter?
Oh, that's a really good question. The exciting thing about this research is that it really opens up a whole new way of thinking about how to make AI better.
Yeah.
It's like we found this hidden language that AI uses, this language of confidence.
So it's not just about understanding what the AI is saying,
Yeah.
but how sure it is about what it's saying.
Right, exactly.
That's fascinating. It's like when you listen to someone talk. You can often tell how confident they are in what they're saying, even if you don't understand the words themselves.
Exactly. And if we can understand that signal, that confidence signal, then the applications go way beyond just this question answering and text reordering. Imagine AI that can actually self-correct or even self-improve by recognizing when it's less confident.
Wow. So AIs that can basically say, "Hey, double check this. I'm not so sure about this one."
Yeah.
Like a built-in quality control system.
Exactly. Or even AIs that could prioritize their learning by focusing on areas where they're less confident. That could totally change how we train AI.
Okay, my mind is officially blown. This feels like a major turning point in how we understand AI.
Yeah.
Like we're finally starting to get how it thinks,
Yeah.
and we can use that to make it even more powerful.
I agree, and this paper is really just the beginning. It's sparked a whole new wave of research into how to use these confidence signals to make AI more reliable, more efficient, and more adaptable, really.
This deep dive has definitely been an eye opener. We've covered a lot today, from understanding what RE is and how it works to exploring this groundbreaking idea of using AI's confidence as a gauge for its performance.
Yeah, absolutely. We've seen how this confidence signal can be used to actually improve the accuracy by moving information around, and even how it could lead to AI systems that learn and adapt better.
And we've only just scratched the surface.
Yeah.
I think what's most exciting is just the potential here. The possibilities really do seem endless.
Absolutely. To wrap things up, I think the key takeaway here is AI's confidence isn't just some random thing. It actually tells us something about its ability to solve problems.
It's like a powerful new tool for understanding and improving AI's reliability. And it could really change how we use AI and how we benefit from it in the future.
Exactly. It's a key step towards making AI that we can actually trust, that we can rely on. And it really makes us think about how we can use this new understanding to unlock even more of AI's potential.
We talked about how this could revolutionize search engines, but what about other areas? Like how could this affect fields like healthcare or education or even art?
Ooh, no, those are some thought-provoking questions. Like
Yeah.
in healthcare, imagine AI systems that could help doctors make diagnoses with even more accuracy
Right.
because they can actually signal when they're less certain about something,
Hmm.
which could prompt further investigation.
That would be incredible. That could lead to earlier diagnoses, more accurate diagnoses, potentially saving lives even.
Absolutely. And in education, imagine personalized learning platforms
Oh yeah.
that could actually adapt to a student's individual needs by identifying the areas where they need more help.
That would be huge.
Yeah.
To be able to personalize education like that and make it more effective for every student.
Exactly. The potential there is huge. And even in art, imagine AI tools that can actually collaborate with artists,
Yeah.
help them explore new creative directions
Mhm.
and push the boundaries.
The possibilities are pretty much endless.
Absolutely. This paper has really opened up a new chapter in how we understand AI, and it's up to us to explore all the possibilities that come from it.
This deep dive has definitely given us a lot to think about. And
Yeah,
I'm sure our listeners are buzzing with ideas and questions.
I'm sure they are. I'm excited to see what happens next with this research and how it'll impact the world.
We've covered a lot of ground today, but I think this is just the beginning of the conversation. So, to all our listeners out there, we want to hear from you. What other applications of this confidence signal do you think are the most promising? Let us know your thoughts, and let's keep exploring this amazing world of AI together. It's almost like we've given AI a voice, a
Yeah.
way for it to not just tell us what it thinks, but how much it actually believes in its own answers.
And that's a real game changer.
Yeah, for sure. But uh, I'm curious, couldn't this lead to AI becoming overconfident?
Mhm.
And making more mistakes. If we were relying on its confidence levels, what happens if that confidence is misplaced?
That's a great question and a valid concern. The researchers actually they recognize this potential issue and they're already looking at ways to deal with it. One idea is to have a feedback system where the AI can learn from its mistakes
Okay.
and then adjust its confidence levels.
So it's like teaching the AI to be more self-aware, right?
Hmm.
To kind of recognize when it's maybe overreaching and to double check its work.
Exactly. It's about building in those safeguards that prevent it from getting too cocky and making, reckless decisions.
Hmm.
It's kind of like teaching a student to be confident in their knowledge, but also to know when to ask for help or to check their work again.
That makes a lot of sense. We wouldn't want AI getting overconfident and making decisions that could have, really serious consequences, especially in fields like healthcare or finance.
Right. Exactly.
It's about that balance, isn't it?
Yeah.
Between being confident and being cautious so the AI can be, assertive but also responsible.
Exactly.
This is definitely an area where more research is needed.
It is. It
Sounds
is.
like this research has opened up a whole like Pandora's box
Yeah.
full of possibilities, some exciting and some maybe a little bit scary.
Right.
But
Yeah.
that's how science works, right?
It is.
We uncover this new knowledge, and then we got to figure out what it means and how to use it responsibly.
Exactly. That's what makes this field so fascinating. And it's not just about, making new technology. It's about understanding its potential and shaping the future in a way that actually benefits everyone.
This deep dive has definitely given us a lot to think about. We explored how AI's confidence can be this powerful tool for understanding and improving how it performs. But
Yeah.
we talked about how important it is to develop it responsibly
Yes.
and to think about the risks involved.
We've seen how this research could lead to AI that's more accurate and efficient and adaptable and ultimately more trustworthy. But we also talk about how important it is to keep research in this
Right.
and to think about the ethics involved as we go into this new territory.
It's been a really fascinating conversation. Thank you so much for sharing your expertise with us today and helping us understand this.
Oh, it's been my pleasure. I always love talking about the latest stuff in AI and thinking about how it can change our world.
And to our listeners, thank you for joining us on this deep dive into the world of AI. We hope you found it, as thought provoking as we did. And remember, the future of AI is being shaped right now, and it's a conversation we all need to be a part of. So keep exploring, keep asking questions, and keep imagining what's possible. Until next time, stay curious.